Hi everybody. We will see how much battery I have on my phone. Not much, but I want to show you this view behind me. You see this view? Let's see. I can't, it's so bright out here now that the solar eclipse is over. I can't even see if you can see this view. But just imagine for a second that you are Jonah, right? Everybody wants to call this the Jonah Eclipse. And God has told you to go preach repentance to a nation that you don't want to preach repentance to. You don't want them to be forgiven. So Jonah went to Nineveh eventually, very reluctantly, almost lost his life, but prayed to God and God spared him. But Nineveh is a 3-day walk. It was a large city back then. And he walks through just one of those cities, right? I'm sorry, he just walks through just one day. He doesn't do the whole 3-day walk of Nineveh. He half-heartedly obeyed God and walked through one day. If you read in the book of Jonah, 1 day's walk of Nineveh. So he walked a third of Nineveh, saying God is going to destroy you in 40 days. And then what did he do? He went up on a hill like this and sat down on top of a mountain like I'm on right now in Linden, Virginia, and waited for God to rain down, God to rain down destruction. That's what Jonah did. So this is called the Jonah Eclipse. And I have gone to everybody I can think of, everybody God has put before my path, some open, some not, to talk about what I think God is trying to tell us as a nation. But we have fallen so far down that many of us have become Jonah. If you're on one side of the aisle politically, you're waiting for God to, not for God, you might not even believe in God. You want destruction on the other side. We have become a nation whose love has grown cold for our fellow man. So I met someone today at this beautiful spot with this wonderful view, just 15 minutes from Nineveh, Virginia, who he and I were talking about how it should be up to us. Remember 9/11? We came together as a nation, but it didn't last, did it? We came apart again. And then what happened next to bring us together? COVID-19. That didn't last either. In fact, when you look at the last couple of presidential election cycles, what happened at the second to last presidential election? Trump won, Hillary Clinton lost. Yeah. There were riots. Yeah. Please don't do that. That's my 12-year-old. Don't break my concentration. What happened in the last presidential election? Worse than riots. The January 6th Capitol Hill breach. This country is going in the wrong direction. So even if you don't believe that this solar eclipse is trying to wake us up as a nation for a time of prayer and fasting, because of any thought of Christ returning or anything like that, I think we can all agree that it's not going to go well this election season if we continue to be more and more divided. And that's what the devil wants. The devil wants us to be divided. So what I learned from my friend Peter, who I met here, my new friend Peter, I met an old friend here as well, is that he doesn't believe in God, and I can understand. He's like my father. It has to be proven to him. But hopefully we can all agree that we need to come together as a nation. So if you do believe in God, I hope you will join me in the next 40 days of prayer and fasting. Because let me tell you, if you've never fasted, I never really fasted before now either, unless you count youth group World Vision fasts, where we'd fast for a day and a half. And I was a young adult, helped out in the youth group then. And I remember being very tired. But fasting is not what you think it is. I have more energy and more mental clarity. I feel more driven and more purposeful than I ever have before, because I'm not being legalistic about it. I'm just kind of letting God lead me, and I realize I was probably eating too much before. So there's health benefits for me. There are health benefits. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. But if you would, please join me in prayer and fasting for the next 40 days. Today is an amazing day, because if you check my January 29 Facebook post, if you're watching this on YouTube, that would be Penny Lynn, Lynn Pelter. I'm public. You can find it very easily. I've got nothing to hide. If you check the two articles I post on January 29, one of them makes a strong, compelling argument for this day. And if I'm right, today in Israel is January 9. Anyways, for this day to be either Christmas Eve or Christmas, this day should be the true Christmas Eve or Christmas. This is either the eve of Jesus' birthday or tomorrow is. What's 400 days from then? Pentecost Sunday. If you are a Christian, you very well may believe that and hope that, and that's the hope that I have, that God is going to pour out his Spirit on these last days. And he's already doing it for me. He's already pouring his Spirit out on me. So you don't have to wait 40 days. But I believe that if we, like Nineveh, because keep in mind, Jonah wanted destruction to rain down on Nineveh. But because Nineveh had gone through not one but two solar eclipses, because Nineveh had gone through riots like we've gone through in 2020, because Nineveh had experienced an earthquake like we experienced, because Nineveh had gone through a famine, which you could say COVID-19, remember all those empty shelves? It wasn't quite a famine, but Nineveh was prepared. Nineveh repented. Jonah said, God is going to rain destruction on this nation in 40 days. But because Nineveh repented, God relented. Because God is not a God that wants to rain down wrath, that wants to punish us. He's a loving Father. He wants what's best for us. So anyways, I just find it fascinating that today is either the day before Jesus' birthday, or I believe in Israel it might actually be, if all the research that I posted on January 29 is true, and it makes a compelling argument, Jesus' birthday is today. 40 days, Pentecost Sunday. God can, and I believe will, if we as a nation will pray, heal our land. He will heal our land. He will pour out his Spirit. We will be blessed beyond measure. But we have to be willing to pray. And with prayer comes such discernment as well. So I think that's enough for this video. I will post more to come. But God bless you all. I hope this is a blessing to everyone who sees it. Bye.